Hey yo, welcome back to Tactics Talk with me, Guido. Thanks for tuning in on this episode. We are going to feature Artie. Yay, is everybody happy? Artie, Banziduck in his M12 Tier 7 American Artillery in a 510. Sitting here on Steeps. Yes, it is called Steeps. That's how you pronounce it, in case you didn't know. Look it up. Look it up, it's true. 5 seconds to battle start. I made you watch most of the countdown. Why? Because Artie is so boring, we might as well be bored from the beginning. I'm just kidding, Bonzi. I'm not kidding. It is boring. So what I'm going to do while I commentate on this is I'm going to play some Pokemon here. I'm not showing it to you because that's how boring it's going to be. And, yep, so he's still driving over to his spot. That's going to take a little while. Oh, I missed it. It's a Firo or something like that. Why is it so far up there? There we go. I got him. That looks like we're still driving to our point. Excuse me. Still driving to our point. But we're reloaded. We're reloaded. We're running Cola. We got some Binocs and Camonet. I do recommend Camonet, and food is well used on artillery. Definitely use food on artillery. Which means you got to drop something out. All right, so he knows. Let's talk about this and get serious for just a moment. Bonzi knows that one of the first places you're going to see somebody on this map are over here, is over here on the east or potentially on the west, right about here, maybe in the middle, but I would presume over here because the fast tanks will get there first, and there are some nice kind of flatter areas, or as they're climbing up like this poor guy, this Pershing here that's about to learn a lesson, you're going to get some early shots. So he's positioned in a decent position. He knows where to look, and this game is going to end up being good for the not HT, but SPG 15, which is going to be top experience on the team. And we'll look at the numbers. I don't know which one it's good for. I think he did it for the T55, or maybe it's for the T28 HTC. But people have a really hard time with artillery getting top experience, and really all it takes is a little bit of luck, because it's artillery, but also some knowledge of how to use artillery. And I'm not going to call it skill. That isn't what it is as far as I'm concerned. We can have arguments about that all day, about whether knowing what to do with artillery is actually skill. But in any event, if you're going to maximize your chance to get something like top experience, then you need to play like old Bonzi is doing right here and pay attention to what these guys are doing. Look at him. He's giving his side armor wham. All right, so he's looking at the oblique view. I guess it is, not the top down, and he seems to do this pretty much exclusively. Bonzi, tell me down there, I know you talked to us quite a bit in the comments, tell me if this is a replay issue or if you actually use this view almost exclusively, because I use the top down a lot more than you do, but I'm willing to say that this may be a replay issue. Sometimes the replay stuff doesn't play well with artillery, but that tended to be when I had the mod that used to do this view in the past, and this is now part of the vanilla client, so it seems like it's all working correctly, and it appears that you actually like this kind of oblique view. So let's see what happens here. Is it oblique or oblique? I always get that wrong. This view. Hold on, I gotta have some coffee because I'm super bored here. He splashed the IS. There is a bit of a scrum going on over on the west side. That's a little harder to use artillery, and these guys are being so accommodating right here, just sort of sitting on this corner, which they have to because that's what the fight is. Watch this one. Oh, poor Pershing. Look out! Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. It's like that scene where, is it Drax the Destroyer? Is it Drax? On Guardians of the Galaxy? That thing comes in and hits Mantis, and about 2 seconds later he says, "Mantis, look out!" See if we can recreate it here. Let's see. Okay, here's the WZ. WZ, look out! Oh, it was too soon, wasn't it? That was too soon. It's not funny if you do it right after. All right, so wow, there we go. They really beat these guys up. Pershing's in good shape. This doesn't really look that great for his team. The east side is basically lost. The good news for him is he's got this ISU camping in the E25. Now, you know, I just said that was good news. It is now that those two clowns have let the whole side collapse without doing a daggum thing. Now it's nice to have their hit points there. It would have been much nicer had their hit points been forward, actually doing something in the game. This is a concept I talk about a lot. If your gun's not in the game, you're kind of relying on your team to help you win too much and not being an actual active part of it. But at this point, it's what Bonzi's got. He's going to reposition, so he backs up a little bit here. Just wants to get a little more room between him and the guys on the east. Bonzi, another option here would have been to start supporting the guys on the west. Unfortunately, I can't switch the view around enough to kind of show you what's going on there, but I think you had shots on that Tiger P and T-29, and you may have been able in there probably to take a shot, then move to this position and start supporting. So I think you maybe lost a shot in there supporting over on the west side. But as it is, you're waiting for this poor T-25-2. Look at this guy. He's just getting absolutely wrecked by the E-25. T-25, look out. Was that better? I think that was better. I think the timing was decent on that. The joke's already destroyed, but, you know, whatever. T-29, IS 1357. He just gets absolutely wrecked. Uh-oh. All right, it's the Pershing. All right, Pershing, get away. Get away. No, don't do that. Oh, my goodness. Forward and back right into it. That's where the kind of luck comes into play with the RNG and whatnot with artillery. Here we're up to 1,346. Doing a pretty good job. We've got 2 kills. And another thing we'll talk about here. Looks like the IS is about to... He might have got splashed there a little bit. Looked like it was pretty far off to the right. Now the Black Prince is coming in. He does need to watch out for the WZ-132. That guy can get by him and be a big problem. But looks like the 1357F is now screening the WZ-132 from being able to sneak through and get to the artillery. So now the poor Black Prince is getting absolutely wrecked. Now the 1357's raging in there, having a heyday. Down he goes, and the WZ's back at cap anyway, so that's useful. Now here's an interesting thing. You see how he kind of goes after the WZ for a moment and goes, you know what, he's faster and he's less hit points. All right, where was I before I got so rudely interrupted by the phone there? So he's looking for the tanks with more hit points. There's a good hit right there. He's going to have a harder time hitting the WZ. The IS has more hit points anyway, so if you're trying to get that top experience or top damage, or top whatever it is in the arty for missions, things like that. You've got to make decisions like that. Another thing to do, and it may have happened on that earlier shot on the IS when he was dark, if you can manage to do it, artillery shots on dark targets, you don't share the experience. You get all the experience on that. So that is another little trick to help you get that mission done. In fact, one of the missions I got, not for the top mission, for the 260, it was, I want to say it was the 255 potentially. I actually found a 110 E5 that was sitting on cap. And so the 110 E5 was sitting on cap. He was AFK, and I was in a bat chat 155-58. That's unfortunate that he missed there. And I was able to drop all 4 shots on him dark, and I could tell it was hitting him because when it went in, there was no explosion on the ground. It just went into a spot and disappeared. So I nailed the guy 4 times in a row. So watch out for things like that. Obviously, sometimes that doesn't really help your team. So it's situational. Take a look at it. If you're already winning anyway, who cares? Go for it. But Bonzi ends up with 1,989, at least listed here. We'll take a look at the stats when we get to the end of it. You can look at what his total numbers were. But he ends up being top and getting that mission done. Well, there you have it. Boring artillery. Sitting here drinking my coffee, telling stories. I was probably more active than Bonzi was during that game. All right, guys. That is all I got. We will catch you later. See ya.